You are watching the adventures of Daphne and her gal pals. Starring Taylor and RiRi, the gal pals. This week's episode, Developing the Plan of Attack. The gal pals, Taylor and RiRi, had just moved into their first home. And because it's a fixer-up, they have lots of work to do. And RiRi has plans of sleeping late. Taylor woke up bright and ready to conquer the world. Cheery and bubbling over. She couldn't wait to share her ideas with RiRi. But RiRi just wasn't ready to get up yet. And of course, with Taylor, no just wasn't the answer. Yes, she told RiRi, yes, it is our day off, but we have work to do. RiRi knew that there was no arguing with Taylor. But she decided she couldn't give in that easily. So Taylor persuaded, and she kept on telling RiRi all her plans. RiRi realized it was useless to try to ignore her. So she gave in. RiRi dragged herself out of bed finally. And after the girls had showered and changed their clothing, they straightened up their room. The girls had made pallets on the floor just temporarily until they got their new beds. So they started discussing and planning. RiRi knew the first thing that she had to do with Taylor was to get her own room. The house the girls were purchasing had enough space for each to have their own room and a guest room for when people would visit. They started chit-chatting about the various ways that they could each decorate their own room. They remembered about the paint color charts that they had gotten while they were out shopping. Because Taylor was bursting with ideas, they decided that her vision should go first. She had chosen to do her room in some browns and beiges and golds, earth tone colors. And she went on and on and on and on. RiRi was going to take notes, but she decided, I'll just wing it. So she just sat and listened patiently. Once Taylor was finished, it was now RiRi's turn. And she was excited. Well, Taylor, no boring colors for me. I'm going to go bright. RiRi had chosen a great purplish colors. A jewel tone, just like her. She was a jewel. So after the girls discussed the colors for their separate bedrooms, they decided it was next to go on to the room, well, maybe the music room. The girls had each chosen their favorite color palettes to work from. They went back and forth talking about the various ideas and how they could see them. And that's the music room slash game room slash movie room slash all those things that you do with guests. Whether or not they would put standing game up tables in that room. The girls decided that today just wasn't the day to make that decision. They decided to look for the furniture for the game room first, and then they could decide the color of the walls. By this time, the gal pals decided that maybe they should do just a little bit of work today. But first, they decided to play with their paint rollers. As the saying goes, all work and no play. They continued to discuss the various things that they needed for the room in order to start painting. Drop cloths, rolling pans, paint brushes. And we'll definitely need a ladder, Taylor told RiRi. So they walked around and got an estimate of how much work they were actually going to have to do before they could begin to paint. The girls decided a little sanding here, a little filling in there. It shouldn't take them forever to start. They decided maybe they should unpack a box or two. The toilet paper rolls rolled all over the floor. The gal pals finally got everything straightened back up. The gal pals agreed to clean off the baseboards. By this time, Taylor was starting to complain about she was tired. Typical Taylor, first to start, first to quit. The girls drew straws to see who would have to scrub up. RiRi believed that Taylor cheated, but she decided to just go ahead and scrub the floor. As RiRi scrubbed the floor, she thought about her day. And all RiRi could think about is she was soon gonna get her own room. Be sure to tune in for next week's episode, The Adventures of Daphne and Her Gal Pals. See you then!